Project Communication Management, a sample video by DirectPro. Communication is something we use every day without thinking about it. To attain the results we wish for, it is important to use the right tools and techniques when conveying a message, and ensure the receiver completely understands the message you are trying to convey. Here you see a nice example of a simple act that can go very wrong if there's a lack of communication between the people involved. The application of proper use of communication could have easily solved the situation. But what is Project Communication Management? The PMBOK defines it as the process required to ensure timely and appropriate generation, collection, dissemination, storage, and ultimately disposition of project information. It provides the critical links among people, ideas, and information that are necessary for success. Boring. Okay, that was the definition. But to make this more interesting, let's try a more proactive approach to show you how excellent project communication can be achieved. When communicating to people, it is not only important of the way you articulate things, you also have to consider the non-verbal communications and the gestures used. This is important to keep people's attention and affects the way they understand your message. This video will go beyond the focus of how you will communicate in your daily life and will give you an insight into what project communication management is, what sort of communication is required in a project, and how best to achieve this during the project lifecycle. We will also provide various tools and techniques that can be used to avoid serious communication problems. If we consider the initialization phase of a project, it is important to define the client's objectives clearly and make sure everyone in the team understands them. This can be done through the use of charts, pictures, diagrams, and other communication supports. The project manager should also strive to receive feedback to confirm his message was received, understood clearly, and agreed upon. This way, everyone involved in the project will be working for the same output. Different departments will often be working on the same project. Before starting the project, it is essential that everyone working in it has the information they need to ensure the overall required result is achieved. Individuals from different departments will have different areas of focus, and the information they get should be adapted adequately. To simplify the communication in a project, it will be wise to make a communication plan that is accessible and understood by everyone involved. A good communication plan can help everybody attending the meetings to understand how the communication in the project will work. The communication plan identifies what has to be communicated, why, the desired impact, when, how, where, through what channel, and to whom. Client communication should be present throughout the project lifecycle and must follow a certain pattern. It must be professional, and the use of tools and techniques available to follow the progress of the project should be consistent. The project manager will require updated charts, project schedule or Gantt charts, checklists, and meeting minutes to keep the client updated. The information disclosed to the client should be somewhat restricted. The client doesn't need to know everything that is happening. Too much information will just worry the client and slow the project progress. However, building a wall between you and the client isn't a great solution either. No communication will only result in problems later. It is the project manager's responsibility to choose information to disclose and to communicate it in a clear, concise, and easily understood manner. To have effective communication throughout the project, it is necessary to ensure information is understood in the same way by every party. The encode-decode model of communication implies that a speaker and listener need to share the same code to make communication possible. Standards for communication in the project should therefore be established, and feedback is required. One should balance the information given to the employees. This means that they do not need to know every aspect of the whole project. Too much info will bury them under a pile of work, and they'll have no clue where to start. On the contrary, too little information will not enable them to grasp the scope of the whole project, and even though they might be content and relaxed about it, their bubble of happiness would soon be burst by reality. Meeting minutes should be sent out after every meeting and are used to keep track of what was discussed, who is responsible for what tasks, and when the tasks are due. This is essential to send to all participants of the meeting to ensure information was received, and it cannot be disputed in the future. The project manager is also in charge of ensuring everyone in the team is acting peacefully and that conflicts between them are resolved. He needs to ensure there is an effective communication between them. If a major change occurs during the project manager is responsible for ensuring the delivery of information quickly to all the people who are in charge of or are involved in the tasks the change will impact, and then once again getting the feedback on the message. When a project is in its final stages, there is a lot of documentation work to complete. All the information concerning the project should be written down and stored so that similar future projects can learn from successes and failures from this project. It is a way of communicating between the different projects in a company. Hopefully you now have a better understanding of what tools and techniques can help you achieve proper project communication management.